What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Derron Walker coming to you live on BeICONIC Conversations. We're right now streaming live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Want to thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, I'm going to be sharing something with you icons that honestly I've only shared within our paid community, our mastermind, BeICONIC Conversations. And I'm actually sharing it because I'm realizing as I've been sharing it with our community lately that people are getting value from it. I might be even talking about some social media strategies on how we've been able to help people grow their businesses online, help people really start to go full time and building online businesses, change their lives, change people's lives around the world. So I want to just welcome you tonight to BeICONIC Conversations. Again, my name is Derron Walker. I'm your host, 38 years strong from the Bronx, New York. My entire family is Jamaican. I'm the baby born in the Bronx. I'm Jamaican. Wagwan, Anting, bless up here. And y'all, I'm super excited to be on here on BeICONIC Conversations. The reason why we do this is we just honestly just believe that you have value in your story, that there are people out there right now like yourself that's tuning in, that's listening in from wherever you're listening in, whether you're live right now, or maybe you're driving in the car listening to this at a different time, and that you have a story, that you have value, that honestly, just quite frankly, there's something about you in your life that you've been through, that you're going through, that someone else not only can learn from, but that you could potentially make income by sharing that information with people. So if you're getting value from this at all, just in the comment section, if you're watching live, just let us know by saying either value, breakthrough, or relate. I'm going to be sharing something with you, honestly, that's helped me become a seven-figure entrepreneur over the years. There's obviously been ups and downs, like many people out there, with different things that have happened over the years, but still nonetheless striving, learning, growing, and giving people absolute value. And so I'm excited about tonight's episode because as we're here right now in the second quarter of 2024, I've been helping a group of people in our mastermind. There's around 50 people right now that I teach how to turn their story into their iconic, unique story into 6 and 7 figures. What I do is I help people earn income by being themselves for a living while impacting the people that they're called to impact. And if you're the type of person that's out there right now, that if you're tired of the things that are happening to your life not getting you to the next level, if you want to get value that can really take you to the next level in your story right now, maybe you're working a job that you're not satisfied in, or you just know that there's way more value in your life. Maybe there's trouble in your finances, maybe there's trouble in your marriage, and you're literally looking for a way to change your life financially, monetarily. I'm going to share with you some tips and some things that happened to me personally in my story. Now, this is not a woe is me story. The same things that crush unsuccessful people motivate successful people. And I also want to let you know that I'm sensitive to your personal circumstance or situation. There are people out there going through all different types of things in their lives, and I hear that, and I see it, and I feel it. You know, really one of the areas where my personal story started was living in my mom's basement in 2012 with negative 365 in my account, working a job with 13 to 17-year-old mental health at a state hospital. And March 3rd, 2012, I walked into that job, and me and 250 people were laid off because of cutbacks. So again, this is not a what was me story. We've just learned that the same things that crush unsuccessful people motivate successful people. So as much as we want to be sensitive to where some people may be, we're also really excited on this podcast tonight to share about where you could be. And I'm talking in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, to change your circumstance around. And I'm also going to let you know that faith has been an enormous part of my life, especially the last 10 years and in the last 2 to 5 years. And even in the last 12 months, Jesus has completely changed the dynamic of my life. So when we come on here and we're going to be talking about income, I want to let you know that income only makes you more of what you are. Although I do like to make money, I do like to help people make income. It's not what defines me. It's even not really what drives me. What really drives me is people. There's people on here right now that I believe, that they believe, that you believe there's true value in you maybe you're just not clear on how to unpack that. Maybe you weren't doing some of the things that maybe you could have been doing, getting yourself around the right community, spending time on things that are going to help you grow, spending time and areas around people that are going to help you grow. Maybe that's what it was, but a person can make a decision to change their life. Remember, you can change your direction overnight, but not your destination. All right. And so, I want to let you know as we hop into this tonight, there's three types of people out there right now. They are the existers, the living, and the designers. And I'm going to explain these three type of people, and break down the three type of people, and also break down, the people out there, why they get put in these positions, and the things that they can do to really change the trajectory of their lives if they just decide to make a decision. If you're on here tonight, again, as I'm watching podcasts all over, and watching people speak, I think that, there's a lot of great value out there. There's a lot of people out there sharing, information. I want to keep it 100 with you. I want to keep it a buck. I know right now, whether you're on Instagram or Facebook, maybe you're checking out on YouTube. I see you guys, by the way. Appreciate you for being on here. I want to let you know that as I start to share this content and ask the Holy Spirit to lead me in sharing this information, that I do truly see you. Like I truly see you. I feel you. And I understand that, this world right now is weird. This world right now is this world right now is wicked. This world right now has a lot of things going on that's really catching people up, allowing people to not believe in their value anymore, getting people sucked into social media, sucked into drama, sucked into all these different things, and forgetting what I believe is the truality of what it is, which is you and I have a divine appointment. We have a reason to be on this planet, and it's greater than just going to school, getting good grades, and getting a good job. Your job is what you do. Your calling is who you are. And I think a lot of people have personally been trapped in this thinking that in order to make money, they've got to continue to hustle and work. And they've stopped becoming cognitively competent in growing themselves, figuring out what they're supposed to actually be doing, what actually drives you, what actually inspires you. And I think people have just kind of lost hope in a lot of ways. One of the ways that I say it is they've just lost the drive to throw their heart over the bar one more time. And I get it, because when I started, first of all, working the first real job that I was working to make money many years ago, it's the first real job and the last real job I've ever had and I ever will have. This job was at a hospital in New York, where I used to live, working with 13 to 17-year-old mental health. And again, as I'm sharing this story, if you get value, if you can relate, if you have a breakthrough, just let me know. I love to correspond. If I see your name, I'll shout you out. And, I was working this job with 13 to 17-year-old mental health. My mom, who's just a blessing to me, raised me in the faith, even though I wasn't a believer for so much of my childhood. She worked with special needs kids in the Bronx as a special needs teacher. My father, God rest his soul, worked on New York City bridges. They came over from Jamaica, did everything they could to help provide for my family. And I, just like a lot of you out there, have family and friends that just did all that they could. And so, as I, went through school and did everything, was in college, graduated from school, lived in Australia for 6 months. And when I graduated from school, I was taught to, go to school, get good grades, and get a good job. I got a job working with 13 to 17-year-old mental health. I love working with the kids. I hated being a number. And so March 3rd, 2012, I walked into that job, and me and 250 people got laid off because of cutbacks. And when I get laid off, I just tell you right now, there's a feeling that went through my body that day, March 3rd, 2012. I don't know about y'all, but there was a feeling that went through my body that said, when I got laid off that day, I was 26 years strong. When I got laid off March 3rd, 2012 from Westchester Medical Center, I was 26. I didn't like the feeling, but I also watched grown adults. I think I didn't like what I'm about to tell you more. I watched grown adults with mortgages, children, life, real life. I was living in my mom's basement. I watched grown adults get laid off the same day. We were all making um, somewhere around, I can't remember. I think I was making like 35, maybe even up to $40 an hour. I mean, now that I think about it, it wasn't terrible. We were making a certain amount of income at this time. But the problem that I had with it is, they laid us all off and tried to rehire us at $14. So one, I felt the level of disrespect. Two, the layoffs had nothing to do with me or anyone else. Another company had purchased the hospital and they just wanted to lay everybody off. So I remember going into work, getting a pink slip and realizing, you know what? Someone has just decided. Didn't matter that I graduated from 356. Didn't matter that I stayed out the streets. Didn't matter that I was working at that job for a certain amount of years or anyone else. All that mattered is they made a move. We were in the way of the bag. They laid us all off and tried to rehire us at $14. And I just remember saying to myself, nah, I didn't like that feeling. I just didn't like that approach. And at this time, I really had no idea what entrepreneurship was. Matter of fact, worse than that. So if you're on here right now and you've either forgotten or you've never tried entrepreneurship, listen, if you're trapped in the ways of your thinking, doing the things that you were doing yesterday, the week before, the month before, the year before, hanging out with the people that you were hanging out with yesterday, the week before, the month before, the year before, or you're just completely stuck in the world. I call it cultural, societal hypnotism. Just letting you know right now, if you're on this call, I'm gonna keep it what we call $150. All right, I'm gonna just share with you, and maybe it doesn't relate to you, and if it doesn't, if you're not gonna like that, I'm gonna share my truth with you. Then it's all good. But I'm gonna do it because I feel like maybe there's one person out here tonight that's gonna make a decision to throw their heart over the bar one more time. Because when I got laid off that day, I made a decision that I would never work for another person in my life again. In that moment that I made that decision, mind you, I had never been an entrepreneur. I did nothing outside. At the time, I was playing in a musical band. We weren't making any money. We had ambitions to do so, but we weren't making any money. I had this job. I was working 12-hour shifts 3 days a week. It allowed me to play my music. It paid me enough money, to do what I was doing, but I didn't have money to blow out of my house or really, do what I needed to do. When I get laid off, I made that decision. I want to let you know that what I really believe is that the Lord knows exactly what he's doing. I don't really say the Lord works in mysterious ways because I don't think we serve as mysterious God. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Because when I got laid off March 3rd, 2012, a friend that I had met while I was living in Australia many years prior happened to call me that night trying to show me a business presentation in the network marketing space. Now, at that time, I was skeptical, but I learned something that I think somebody on here needs to remember. You can't be broke and skeptical. I can't be living in my mom's basement, negative 365 in my account. You can't be struggling. There's too much month at the end of the money, but somebody's coming along to try to help you grow, and you're not either understanding it and not taking it or mistreating it. And a lot of people do that. We understand that POUR stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And so when he called me, I'm just telling you right now, that was me. It was me, March 3rd, 2012. He was like, man, I got to show you something. This is someone that I knew and I trusted. Social media wasn't popping like that back in the day. We had Facebook and stuff like that, but we weren't building businesses online. We weren't doing dial-up AOL, but we definitely weren't, doing reels and trends and, building businesses and coaching online, not like that. And so I was dodging him though, because I was like, whatever he's going to tell me, he's probably going to ask me for money. He didn't know I got laid off. But he called me and he said, hey, just tell me when you're available and I'll call you whenever you are. Now, I told him 2 a.m., not realizing that he was in Arizona, that 2 a.m. for him 2 a.m. for me was midnight for him. So it wasn't that late for him. He called me in the middle of the night and said, man, I got something you got to see. Sit down and watch this video. He showed me a 15-minute presentation and my life got changed. Here, I want to pause on this part of the story right there. Is because, one, if I never got laid off that night, I don't think I would have been even available to check out what he's doing. I want to ask you, are you available for the next level of success? One of the ways I heard somebody say it is you can't pray for strength, then complain when God puts weight on you. I just want to keep it 100 with some of us right now that are on this call. Sometimes the blessings are there to open up for the people, but they're just not ready for it. And it's not just in finance. This can be in ministry opportunities. This could be in relational opportunities. I know that I had a closed mind and those doors were closed, but the Lord, I really just believe, looking back on my life right now, the Lord really helped open up those doors. I'm just telling you right now, don't be an existing person. An existing person is an intention person, okay? Not an implementation person. They have great intentions, but they never get the thing done. They blame it on procrastination, but I learned that procrastination is never the problem. It's the root of the problem. A lot of people have lost their hope to dream. They're just settling on a job, settling on, wanting things to just work out by using their hands and being physical and not being mentally strong and mentally driven and mentally motivated, using their mind to figure out how to turn their problems into projects. And so when I got laid off that day and he showed me the video, I watched it, and at that time, my girlfriend was sitting, on the side. My girlfriend at the time, my now wife, telling me, hey, you got laid off. We got negative 365 in the account. Don't do it. And she fell asleep. I borrowed my mom's credit card and I signed up. I joined a network marketing company, went to a personal development event. And for the first time in my life, my eyes, once the mind gets expanded past what it is, my eyes really opened up, y'all. I didn't realize that there were Black, Puerto Rican, Spanish, white, Indian, Mexican, all types of people coming together and building a business, building a dream. And really, I kind of felt like one of those New York City, I was in New York at the time, New York City horses where you got the blinders on and someone just ripped it off. And these lights, just like the lights I have in this office, these lights, is like, wait a second, people are making 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100, 150, $500,000 a month to build a business. Like, I'm like, what? And so I started telling people, and I joined the industry of networking. I joined the industry of personal development. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Listen, if you're taking notes, write down what I'm about to tell you, because some of you are going to miss it. Matter of fact, I'm about to drop some game on here tonight for the people that are serious. Matter of fact, before I move forward, I want to make sure people are with me. Put in the chat whether you're on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube with you, so I know that I'm not talking to an audience that's not peeping what I'm talking about right now, because what I'm about to say to you right now, if you're listening, could really change somebody's life significantly if they're paying attention. Because when I did some of these things I'm about to tell you right now, it really expedited my life financially. And no matter where you are in your circumstances, no matter where you are in your finances right now, if you're on here and you understand what I'm talking about, you could possibly truly, truly change your financial DNA and change your financial life. So when I came home from this event that I went to, and I started sharing with people, that I had seen something, people that, your closest homies, your closest friends, those were the people at first that were the biggest people to not support what I was doing, even close family, even to this day. And that's when I realized someone does not have to be blood to be family, to believe in you. And I'm not knocking family, but you need to know that the calling on your life is not the calling on someone else's. Some people are not moving forward in their goals and dreams and are blaming their past, their family, their circumstance, their situation. And I just want to let you know, your God, the God that I believe in, is big enough to help you and I through circumstances. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. Write this down. It's never the thing. It's your mindset towards it. Is whatever you're going through bigger than your ability to overcome it with a goal, with a plan, with a strategy, especially with velocity? What's velocity? It's speed plus direction. If you add a strategy and a plan to that, it's like a runway for a plane to take off. Listen to me. Velocity is speed plus direction. If you want to know what velocity is, it's speed plus direction. Some of us on here have the right speed, but no direction. Some of us have direction and no speed. Speed plus direction equals velocity. Okay. And so I want you to understand, escape velocity is when you have enough speed and direction to leave the atmosphere. So when a rocket ship literally leaves planet Earth and leaves the atmosphere to go out of space, it has something called escape velocity. Somebody put that in the chat so I know you're tracking with me. All right. And if you're driving in the car right now, say escape velocity. What is escape velocity? Escape velocity is having enough momentum and speed and direction to leave the atmosphere of what it is you are looking to grow out of, through, and grow from. So I'm telling you that because if you are continually trying to launch a business, trying to do something, and you start and all of a sudden you go and do it for a little bit, and you always continue to fall and you always come back and you always get pulled back, I'm telling you why right now. You don't have enough speed and direction to have the right velocity to break through. And every time you go, let me know if you relate, you're being pulled back. Every time you feel like you got a little bit of momentum, we call it, oh, life is happening. Why is life happening? It's really speed and direction. And I know that because it was what was pulling me back in my life. It wasn't until I got around the right people, the right community, the right understanding to realize that my life would never change if I didn't have the right speed and the direction and the right community around me. So for a bunch of years in this network marketing company, I built this business and I developed the skill set, the personal development. I changed. I changed. I started putting words and affirmations. This is even before Christ was with me the whole time, by the way. I know it for a fact. But this was before I started paying attention to what Christ could really do in my life. It's before that. But as I started to look at my life, as I started to pay attention and started to grow in my life, that's when I really started to see some significant changes in my life. And it did change the game. It did help me grow. And it did really help me gain my confidence. And, so that's actually not the part of the story I'm going to share tonight, because through that, through personal development, yes, we earned a lot of money. We traveled all over the world. We did a lot of iconic things, and my wife and I, we built a huge team called Empire Global. We didn't do it by ourselves either. To this day, I'm still grateful for a bunch of people that were a part of that journey with us, and continue to, grow and learn and all these things. But what happened is life started to really happen. Life started to life. So here's what I told you to write down. I didn't forget it. Be like, he didn't say it. What is it? Here's what it is. Write this down. This will change the game for you. I hope somebody's on here and really paying attention, even if it's just one person. This will change the game for you if you peep what I'm about to tell you, which is this. Okay? Your purpose is a muscle, not a mindset. Now, when I say that to you out loud, some people are not going to pick up game. I've been saying this to my community for a minute. They get it because I share it with them all the time. Listen to me. Your purpose is a muscle, not a mindset. I'm on here to let you know right now, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter how successful you are or how successful you think you're not, listen to me. You have a calling. The Bible calls it an inheritance. Now, the Bible's talking about an inheritance in the cross, in Christ. And there's nothing more and nothing better than salvation and having an inheritance with the Lord. But it also says we have an inheritance on earth as well as in heaven. We're not supposed to be on earth and just struggle. There's an inheritance. As believer, we're called saints. That doesn't mean we're better than, but we're set apart. We're not called to struggle completely over and over. If you listen to my voice right now, fam, if you are continually struggling financially, continually struggling in your fitness, in your health, continually struggling in your marriage or your ability to maintain powerful, meaningful, fulfilling, peaceful, joyful relationships, continually struggling with your children, keeping them together, leading them, continually struggling with addiction, continually struggling with pornography, continually struggling with drinking. Here, I'm not to talk down on you, but that I'm telling you right now, it's because of the enemy. If you don't think that we have one, we do. Okay, there's truly an enemy that wants to kill, steal, and destroy, rob you of your inheritance, rob you of your faith, rob you of your clarity, rob you of belief. And if you continue to play the game in this world and don't find out your calling, a lot of people will just be robbed until they're robbed of their life. And I want to let you know right now, that is not of your making. You are not called to just live on this planet and just kick it till you pass. There's value in you, and more importantly, if you choose to find out what that value is and scale it, grow it, build it, God willing, be anointed in it, somebody else's life will be impacted because you came. Matter of fact, the question to ask is, whose life is being impacted right now because of you? And if the answer to that question really is no one outside of you, then we can kind of just look at your bank account and see where it's at. If other people's lives are not being changed because your impact, because of what you're doing, then that is going to be a complete, correlation to your bank account, and scrap the bank account to your peace and your joy. Okay. And so I tell you that because that business, although it brought us a lot of joy, there was a lot of emptiness in there as well. I realized that the money that we made, we're grateful for in that company. The things that we did, we're blessed by that company. But, truthfully, there was still something completely missing. I gave my life to Christ during before the company went out of business. Matter of fact, I gave my life to Christ in, Thanksgiving of 2014. So it'll be 10 years this year when I really think about it. But I bring that up to you because in 2020, that business that I thought was my true calling went out of business. And here's the issue. Let me just tell you something that I learned now or recently in the last 5 years or so, or a little bit more, that I now teach is the issue was I had my life wrapped around my business. And so when the business went out of business, I almost felt like I lost my life. And I know a lot of people, top people. Matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago, I had a close friend that was in that company with me, Martin Ruoff, on here sharing his truth and his experience, and said that's what happened to him as well. And so now I teach people to build their business around their life, not build their life around their business. Making money and doing business should be a part of what you do, but should not dictate who you are and what you do. If you're doing what you're called to do at a high enough level, you will make income by default. You will grow financially by default, and you'll help a lot of other people do the same thing. So when the company went out of business in 2020, we got merged into another nutrition company. And although the company going out of business was a big sting for sure, the lessons learned along the way were just as, if not more, incredible. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, that company going out of business in 2020 was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I thought that business was my calling and my purpose. But listen, I realized that it wasn't my purpose, but it was one of the strongest tools that the Lord used to strengthen my purpose. What that means is I developed a skill set, a mindset, a learning from that company and from the relationships in the community around it, that it led me to be the man I am now in my faith, the husband that I am, the father that I am, the business owner and CEO that I am, because your purpose is a muscle, not a mindset. And a lot of people aren't winning is because every time life gets hard, their purpose muscle is not strong enough. They haven't allowed themselves to grow through enough things, to learn, to grow, to take enough chances. Every time someone wants to give them an opportunity to build a business or mentor them, they think it's something wrong. They think it's a scam. Listen. You should be protective of the decisions that you make, but not so much so that you're letting the blessings pass by just as you're letting the testings. Okay? And so get around the right group of people. Willpower will never outdo a strong community. That's why in the Bible it's called a body. You and I are not meant to achieve high success alone. Just 2 weeks ago, by the grace of God, our community, we just recognized 18 people for earning income, gaining clients, building their business, launching their podcast, doing up to 50 podcasts, changing their lives, and doing all these things. And we did it because we're a part of a community. Okay, we're part of a community. There's all different people, from authors to fitness coaches to leadership coaches to encouragers to all different types of people having a goal to earn income, being themselves for a living. We built a community around people looking to win at a high level. In fact, on June 10th and 11th, if you're on here right now and you want to learn how to turn your story into income, if you go ahead and DM me right now, income, I'll send you a link. I haven't even released it yet. I'll do it right now. If you DM me income, but by the time I get off this podcast here, I will send you an individual link, a VIP link to register for our event on June 10th and 11th, while we're teaching people how to turn their story into 6 and 7 figures. Do me a favor though. If you're not a person that wants to grow, if you're not a person that wants to be in stretch, if you're not a person that wants to invest in themselves, you're a worry wart, then you don't even need to just get this free game. By the way, the 2-day event is free, but you don't need to DM me income. But matter of fact, put it in the chat. If you want the link for that 2-day event, put income in the chat, and I'll make sure myself or my team reaches out to you. Now watch this. Here's what happened. Here's how we earned over $150,000 starting a business from scratch in less than 7 months. I'm going to give you the story because it wasn't pretty. And I want to bring this up to you because some people think that in order to be successful, earn income, that everything has got all the ducks get to choose to love to be in a row. Everything is going to be real easy and simple. And once things are simpler and once things are all together and I got my I's dotted and my T's crossed, that's when I'll really start going to the next level. Next week, tomorrow, next month, next year. No. I probably had the biggest jump of success in my life in the two most uncomfortable places on my life. One, March 3rd, 2012, when I got laid off. And then two, in 2020, the company that I was a part of, that I grew a huge team in and all this stuff, traveling all over the world, making money. People know my name and wanting to shake my hand. Boom. That went out of business, virtually instantly. And then after that went out of business, we got merged into another company that I really didn't even want to be a part of. It was great for the first 9 months to a year, but not only did I not want to really be a part of it, my team really started to fall apart because they didn't want to do it. So here I am now. This is around 2021, realizing that I'm building a business that I don't have a calling to build and I don't want to do it. But what am I going to do? How am I going to make money? And I'll never forget, I was on a leader-led trip in the Bahamas. Now, when I tell people this, like, you were in the Bahamas and still feeling this way? First of all, the trip was not put together well, and it was just falling apart. I was hiding in my room most of the time. The Bahamas is a beautiful place, and so are their people, but this trip was like a nightmare, right? And so I felt in my soul for the first time in network marketing that I really, by the way, I'm a huge advocate of the network marketing industry. Shout out to anybody that's still building any company or, doing their thing. I'm proud of you. Keep doing your thing. That company has been an impact for me and my family, changed lives, experiences. Still to this day, have some really close family and friends who will never speak down upon the industry. However, It's just not what I was called to do after a certain season of my personal life. And so I'm in this hotel room and I got introduced to a person who I now call a mentor. His name is Adam, who Adam had built a multiple seven-figure company teaching people basically how to take their giftings and put them on display in the online space. But as Adam was, I was being introduced to Adam. Guess what? I didn't know him. I knew a person pretty well that knew him, and he had helped her. But just like some of you on here listening to me right now, you don't know me that well, or you might have heard of me, or maybe even met me from a past company, or we haven't talked in a while, so you don't know me. So, when there isn't that communication, that relationship and trust, sometimes people are like, yeah, I've heard that before. I've seen that before. And you're probably right. It's not my job to convince you, just to share value, right? And so I felt a deep, bone shattering fear while I was in this room in the Bahamas. And here's why. I realized that I was completely not doing what I wanted to do. And I didn't know what I was going to do. My identity was wrapped in network marketing. My identity was wrapped in knowing how to build teams. I could go build a team from scratch to 10,000 in 12 months. Give me a good product, a good website, something that I was excited about. I would call anyone and have a person believe that working with me was the right thing for them to do. And a matter of fact, I to this day still believe that it is. If you were serious that we were going to honestly go make money, build, help people, and do whatever it takes. I did that for upwards of 12 to 15 years in that company. But I realized, as a young father, as a young husband, that wasn't the direction for me to go anymore. So now I had this identity crisis. Like, am I a one-hit wonder? Like, what's my identity outside of building network marketing? See, that was, first of all, the biggest issue, is that I had built my life around this business and the identity. And when it was getting ready to go away, it was gone. I felt lost. Maybe you right now are feeling lost in identity. You either don't believe that you have the skill set and the value to build something truly, or something you still haven't bounced back from 2020. You still haven't bounced back from a loss. You still haven't bounced back from something that happened. I'm here to tell you that God can do more in your life and your business in an hour than you can do on your own in a year. And he did it. Because I had a meeting with Adam while I was in the Bahamas, and Adam was telling me about this business that he could help me launch the ideas that I had in my heart. And he could help me, turn my problems into projects. And I tell you, I didn't believe him. So watch this. I teach this in the mastermind. Write this down if you're taking notes. This is free game. Write down the word goals. Write it down right now. Matter of fact, someone put goals in the chat so I can make sure that you guys are tracking with me. Put goals in the chat. Okay, I want to make sure that you're tracking with me. And the reason why I want you to write this down, I'm going to give it to you right now. Goal stands for gather other allies, leverage, serve. Man, this has made me more money. I'm just telling you, this is free game right now. Gather other allies, leverage, serve. If you're taking notes, write this down. So here's what gather other allies, leverage, serve means. I'm telling you, top people in this world do it. First and foremost, gather other allies. Right now, I'm just telling you, all of you need to take inventory in your thoughts, your circle, and your plan. Inventory. That means right now, in your thoughts, your circle, and your plan, we get to choose to love to start hiring and firing. If you have the wrong thoughts, start hiring and firing. Let me ask you this. If your mindset, if your thinking was income, meaning that every thought you had during the day that was negative would have money come out of your bank account, and every thought that you had during the day that was positive would have money come into your bank account. And on top of that, if you surrounded yourself with people that had negative thoughts, that also altered your bank account, who would change their thinking and who would change their surrounding? Well, I'm just letting you know right now, your thoughts are just as valuable as income. Listen to me right now. Your thoughts are just as valuable as income. What you're thinking right now, what you think, what you feel, what you say, what you do right now is either robbing you of your inheritance or is applying you with what you need for your inheritance. And I bring up gather other allies because the first thing that I did when I was in the Bahamas, when I didn't know what to do, I'm praying. You ever pray and you're like, Lord, do you hear me? My palms are sweaty, my hands. I'm supposed to pay at that time, you know, upwards, I think it was almost $25,000 to join this mastermind. I was on my last borrowed dollar at the time in this company that I didn't want to be in, knowing I was changing everything. I called my pastor. I called an ally, someone that I could truly trust, that would truly tell me the truth. As a matter of fact, he didn't even give me the answer. Here's what he said. He said, Derron, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm basically asking him, should I pay this guy this money, all the money I really don't have? He goes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not an entrepreneur, which he's not, but he's wiser than any one of the most wisest men I've ever met, because he knows the word of God. And he said, God knows your heart. He said, if your heart's telling you to walk through that door, then walk through it. If it's the right door, the Lord will keep it open. If it's not, he'll close it and you'll know. And to this day, that's some of the best advice I've ever heard. But what's just as, if not more important than the advice, is gather other allies, having an ally that I could call to give me the right information. And I did. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best decision that I've made as an adult on my own with his help. Let me finish. Goals, gather other allies, leverage. Listen, when you have allies, leverage each other. One hand washes the other, both hands wash the face. How do you know if you have the right allies? Some of you right now are spending 10 minutes with people you should spend 10 hours with, and you're spending 10 hours with people you should spend 10 minutes with. You're hanging around with people just because you knew them over the years, just because their family grew up, and you're not allowing yourself to really put yourself around the circle of people that are put on this planet to help you grow. You think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Kevin Hart or any of these really, really successful minded people out there are kicking it with people just because they went to high school with them, or kicking it with people just because they even like them? No, they're surrounding themselves with people that encourage them, that help sharpen them, that challenge them, that stretch them. So I'm just telling you right now, if you right now are one of those people that posted online, hey, what should I be watching? What's the new series? Some people about to hop right off my podcast right now, because all I'm seeing is Kendrick Lamar and Drake, who's winning this battle, and people are not realizing that they are literally spending time gathering information, waiting for one man to drop another diss track on another man, but they're not where they want to be in their life and their goals. They're calling as their business. Okay. I have no idea. I'm seeing it online, but I'm telling you right now, I don't know. Oh, it's for the culture. Man, get out of here. I'm looking to leave financial freedom for my kids. I'm looking to bless my wife, and people's priorities, y'all. It's just really, 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 if you're not clear on your calling, listen, if you're completely clear on your calling and you're crushing it in your goals and dreams, and you're giving back and doing all you need to do, then go right ahead. Follow Kendrick Lamar and Drake's, online drama. But I tell you right now, their stock is going up because they found a way to get the masses to focus on everything they're doing. And it's not just that. Sports right now, I know there's basketball playoff games going on. I'm still doing BeICONIC Conversations because they're making money whether they win or lose. I'm trying to help some of you win, but you're going to catch the replay because your team is playing. Anyway, let me continue this story and wrap up and go talk to my wife and kick it. Love y'all. So, I borrowed the money, gather other allies, leverage. I leveraged my pastor. He helped me out. He leverages me all the time. We actually just launched a podcast. If you want to check out Calvary Chapel Brandon, it's every other Monday. We just did this past Monday. It's called Filling the Gap on Calvary Chapel Brandon, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And we're helping people fill the gap. If you want to know a little bit about the Lord on a practical, just sit down, have a convo kind of conversation. Come through and do that. Told you the numbers would go down when I started talking about Kendrick Lamar. It's all good. Hurt a couple people's feelings. The real ones are still here. All right. And so the last letter of goals, gather other allies, leverage is S for serve. And here's what I learned about serve. You don't get out of life what you want. You don't get out of life who you are. You get out of life what you deserve. And the root word of deserve is serve. If you want to hit your goals, stop thinking about your goals and start thinking about when you hit your goals, whose life will be served because you're in your calling. Go start finding a way to serve those people now, even if you're not making income. Find a way to be an impact, to create, connect, contribute, and walk in your calling. Find a way to, Jim Rohn said it the best. Well, not the best. I know he got this from the Bible in some way, shape, or form, but he goes, find a way to serve the many, because serving the many will lead you to blessings. Something along. Find a way to serve the many, and serving the many will lead you to money. Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it changed my life. Me going to serve people. So let me fast forward this story now as I wrap this up. I ended up joining Adam's mastermind, and he helped me launch my first 8-week/10-week course. Took about 60 days to put it together. It was extremely tight 60 days, as I had spent virtually all the money that I had at the time to build this business. I got real lean with my wife, and also got super focused. No luck in what we're talking about right now. God's grace for sure. Grace, by the way, if you're still taking notes, is God's riches at Christ's expense. So I cannot earn it. I do not deserve it, but by his grace, he's blessed me with it. And we built this business, my first course, online course, which is called Icons Transformation Camp. Now, let me tell you something. From when I made that decision on a Zoom call and called my pastor from the Bahamas in that hotel room, feeling miserable and fearful, that was like August 30th. It was September 5th, 2021, when I started working with Adam. You're talking less than 5 days. I got back and got in it. Velocity is speed plus direction. Listen to me. Some people, it's not because you don't have money. It's not because you're not smart. It's not because of bad luck. It's not because the world is coming down on you. It's because you're moving too slow to make decisions, and you're around people that are enabling you and not helping you make quick decisions and get you moving. If it's hard, keep going, but move fast through the pain. So I started on September 5th, and it completely changed my life. And what happened is I got around a small team of people that quickly pulled me out of all the overthinking. Every time I wanted to stop, I'm like, yo, well, what are people from my past industry going to say? Or what about this? They were like, yo, we got a deadline. We're meeting on Zoom, once a week. You got homework to do. How you doing? Where you doing? And from September 5th, I launched my first masterclass on November 8th. Actually, in our community, we just watched back that first masterclass. It was terrible. It was awful. If I had more time, I did slides in Canva, didn't know how to do it. I had to shut that off. However, we had over 150 people registered, and in that had about 68 people book a one-on-one call with me. And from that, on December 9th of 2021, I launched my first 8-week course. Now, mind you, watch this. It was $2,500 per person for that course. And to this day, some people have, not allowed me to show them what I'm doing, but tons of people's lives have been changed from it. But, it's all good. I'm not here to get anyone to check that out. Matter of fact, I don't even do that course anymore. We've grown past that, but we helped a lot of people through it. Now, here's what happened, though. We had 13 people join that course. It was an 8-week course, right? 13 people joined that course. I'm going to pull up my calculator because I think this is very interesting, because 2,500 times 13 is 32,500. But how come I only made $13,000? Well, when I say only, some people are like, only. Well, my first launch in my course, I made $13,000 in the first month that I actually launched. Someone tell me why I didn't make $32,000. I want somebody to put it in the chat so I can move forward. Anybody know why I didn't make $32,000? I only made 13. You might not get it right away. I want to see if someone does. I'll give you a minute because I'm going to be off here before the top of the hour. Anybody know why I didn't make $32,000 in my first month? I only made $13,000. I'm going to tell you if no one writes it in 3, 2, 1. I was scared to ask the right price. Yup. Derron Walker, top leader, hit top ranks, traveling all over the world. I was scared. When I got into the call for the 13 people that said yes, I told them all it was $1,000. Why? Because I didn't at the time believe someone would pay me $2,500 for the value that, one, I now know of course they would, but two, I also understand that, when the value is there, people will come. So I only charged them $13,000. Here's what else I did. I created the craziest payment plans. I was letting people pay me $100 once every 3 weeks. It took forever to collect that $13,000. However, I did it, and I did it fast. I did it despite what other people thought about me. I did it. Now, my confidence started to grow. So I did another masterclass at the end of December of 2021 and launched another course in January 4th, 2022. Now, because my confidence was up, 18 people joined that one, and I let people know the actual price, and a lot of people paid it. I have something in the industry we call the floor. So some people, maybe I let them do it for $1,750, depending on their situation, $2,000, whatever. But we earned $32,500 in the month of January, or we contracted. We didn't maybe earn it, but we contracted, and the payment plans were way better. Everyone did a registration. Then I started to get the confidence. So long story short, from December 9th, 2021 to July of 2022, we had 90 people go through Icon's transformation camp through the course that I was doing. That was $2,500. So if you do $2,500 times 90, that's $225,000. So did I earn $225,000 in 7 months? No. If you look at the caption, we earned about $165,000. So if you minus $165,000 from that, 60,000 short of $225,000. One, because of payment plans and stuff like that. But two, hey, not bad from the August before, right? The August before having that phone call to 7 months from when I actually launched my first course, which is in December, doing $165,000 around, maybe even a little bit more in 7 months. I don't bring that up, and I don't usually share numbers like that. But why do I tell you that? I tell you that because I want to share with you what could happen in a person's life when they really start to believe, really start to apply the things that they're called to do in their life, and start to, get focused and do some things to change their life on the next level. So, and now from then till now, man, we launched our mastermind, which is now a 6 to 12 month mastermind. We now help people turn their iconic, unique story into 6 and 7 figures. We actually just launched a new group of it, group of people coming in. 10 people came into the community last night. We've got people that I'm just telling you now are doing virtual tours, virtual book tours, master classes, podcasts, gaining their value, gaining their identity, turning their stories into income, growing. And I just let you know, if you're on here right now, and you're serious about learning how to not just make income, yes, make income, but really grab back that direction, grab back that power, grab back that passion. Share this to your stories. Let somebody know about what's going on. And I want to invite you, if you're on here right now, I'm doing another event June 10th and 11th. It'll be limited seat only. I'm not going to have this be a big event. We'll have our community on there because they're always hungry to grow. It's a Monday and Tuesday. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. DM me right now, income. DM me income, and I will send you the link. I haven't even promoted it on social media yet. If you're on Instagram, the link is in my stories on Instagram. It's not on Facebook yet. DM me income. I'll send you the link so you can register for this 2-day event. We're going to be talking about how to turn your iconic, unique story into 6 and 7 figures. What is it about you? Who you are, what you do, what you produce. What is it about you that you've been through? What is it about you that, that the giftings that you've been given, the blessings that you've been given, that somebody else is either been through or going through, that they can learn from your skill set. And I wanted to share this story, how I went from, feeling stuck, feeling lost, being fearful of how I was going to take care of my family. I got to be honest with you though. I think it's a good story. I'm grateful, and I'm realizing, man, I can't believe I haven't shared this story more. What's happened over the last couple of years since removing of being a part of that the company we were part of in the past. But I think what's more important, I want to tell you that none of this would have happened without the grace of glory of Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, I've seen Jesus in my family's life. I'm so grateful for his grace. I'm so grateful for him, interceding on the behalf. This is not about making income as much as about finding your purpose and your calling. If you know you have value in you, if you know there's more than the mundane or the average life that you may be living, if you're tired of being tired and you want to do something different, this world is fallen and you want more, then I'm letting you know we're doing a 2-day event on June 10th and 11th for those type of people. The type of people that even if you don't know exactly how you're going to do it or what it's going to look like, you're going to not just register, but you're going to show up. DM me income. If you got value from this, go ahead and share this to your family and friends. I'll put it up on Facebook, YouTube. It's going to stay there. And so I'll put it up on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook's going to be there. And I'll put the recording out later on so people can catch the replay in their car. Mind you, thank you so much for being on BeICONIC Conversations. We'll be back next week sharing another story with you. All right. Thank you so much for your time. I'm going to pray us out. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to seek your name and seek your face. Thank you for allowing me to have a story to share. Thank you for allowing me to have life, Lord, to be able to share the story. Thank you for your glory. Thank you for your cross. I'm interceding on the behalf right now, Father, of their people that are out there right now that are struggling in their life and their health and their vision and their forgiveness, Lord, and their income, Lord, and their confidence and their value. Lord, being stretched by this world, Lord, burdens, Lord. I ask that you remove and release and you lift, Father. Show them that they're not alone, Lord. Continue to bless them. Father, money aside, Lord, we're your children, Lord. You sent your only son to the cross for our sins. Thank you for your word. Thank you for your example. Thank you for your selflessness, Lord. No, I'm not afraid to speak about you, Lord, online. I'm not afraid, Lord, to share your name, Lord. I know I'm a sinner too, and I fall short. There's so many things and areas I'm looking to get better at, Lord. Protect my family, protect my wife, protect my wife's family, protect our children, Lord. Protect the children of this world, Lord. Lord, we're asking for peace. Can't wait till you come, Lord. Thank you for this time. In your holy name we pray, Father. Amen. Hey, y'all. Welcome to BeICONIC Conversations again. We'll see you next week. My name is Derron Walker. So grateful and blessed to be on here with you. I see a couple of you right now. DM me income. We'll get you the link for the 2-day event. If you're watching the replay, you can also get the link. Just go ahead and DM us in my personal DM income, and we'll get it to you. God bless you guys. Good night, icons.